What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? This is the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. I know we haven't had a ton of content recently, but we are still in the process of finding a permanent host. But keep us locked in here. We hope to have more and more content moving forward. But I thought we'd do a little preseason finale preview as the Chicago Bears come to Arrowhead Stadium. Both teams are going to play their starters. We'll talk about that here in a second as well. But I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever been to a game at Arrowhead Stadium? Maybe you're going tomorrow night. If you have, type yes. If you haven't, type no. Certainly one of the best home field environments in all of sports. All right, 5 things to watch for if you're a Chiefs fan in this game. How much time do the starters get? Andy Reid certainly isn't shy about playing starters, even Patrick Mahomes at this stage in his career. They didn't play last week, though, so I would say that they get a couple of opportunities in this game. How do they look? How does the operation go? Obviously, Mahomes and these guys have been there and done that, but you'd still like to see a good showing out there, ones versus ones. Dennis Allen in Chicago, they got a pretty good defense coming in here, and obviously from a defensive side of things, Caleb Williams looked pretty good in his debut under Ben Johnson last week, so it'll be a good opportunity to go up against the Bears ones from a Chiefs standpoint. Andy Reid said this specifically about the starters playing. He said, yeah, they'll start it off for sure, and then we'll see how it goes from there. That kind of keeps the door open. Like, if they have a great first drive, maybe they call it. Maybe it's 2 drives. Like, on average, if it's a long touchdown drive to open the game, maybe that's it. If it's a shorter drive where they get 3 or less points, maybe they go back out there. If it's a 3 and out, maybe they get 2 more drives. I would say no more than 3 drives overall would be my guess. I'd like to see the defense specifically out there as long as Caleb Williams and the Bears offensive starters are out there. So we'll see what happens there. We don't really need to see Mahomes, but it's still fun to see starters play in the preseason, which Andy Reid still does. How many drives do you want to see Patrick Mahomes play on Friday? How many do you think he should play? Let us know in the comment section down below what that number is. 2 drives, I think that's a happy medium there. All right, Kristian Fulton, is he playing? And if he does, how much run does he get? Is it exclusively with the ones? Because I think his ability to be a good outside corner will directly impact the full utilization of Trent McDuffie, who was obviously an All-Pro last year as a nickel primarily. With L'Jarius Sneed gone for a second straight year now, McDuffie's ability to play nickel and outside and being able to move him around is important. That was a big reason why they brought Fulton in, to be that outside corner on that 2-year, $20 million contract. Excited to see how he can perform in Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Obviously, the corner play here historically has been very good, but there's still some questions. You got Fulton, obviously McDuffie's a stud. Who's that other corner? Is it Jalen Watson? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm hoping we get to see Kristian Fulton out there. Okay, Ashton Gillotte. Can he show more than he has so far? The rookie pass rusher, I haven't seen a ton from him just yet. I think this will be a good opportunity going up against the Bears 2s likely to show what he can do. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor. That is PrizePicks. The best daily fantasy sports app going is PrizePicks. Get signed up today, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Last week of the preseason is here. College football is upon us. Football season is back, so don't miss any of the action on PrizePicks. It's very easy to play. You pick more or less on stat projections for 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. I mentioned week 0 is upon us, and you get a little freebie there with Avery Johnson. You take the more on half a passing yard. I mentioned 2 to 6 player lineups. I like 2 player lineups, especially when you're halfway home to winning with that freebie there with Avery Johnson. Rocco Beck, more on his passing yards as well. 2 to 6 players, as long as it's 2 players on 2 or more different teams. You can't choose 2 players from the same team in one lineup, for example. You'd have to have at least one other player from a different team. That qualifies. That lineup specifically, $20 to win $60. Be sure to play today. Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Link is in the comments and in the description. Back to Ashton Gillotte in this preview. Can he show more than he has so far? Obviously at Louisville, he flashed his upside this past year. And camping in the preseason, it's just been okay, right? I mean, he's got 32 pass rush snaps in the preseason so far, only 2 pressures. That's, a 6.8, pass rush win rate. Not great. You want to be at least at that 10% mark. That's ideal. 10 is kind of, 9 to 10 is kind of average. 12 plus is good. 15 plus is very good. He's below average right now in the preseason, and he's going up against backups mostly. So the Chiefs need to get more production out of him. Felix, why am I blanking on the name? Udike Uzama. God, it's been a while, fellas. Andrew Dike Uzama out for the year. Jeez. Brett Veach, help me out here. Ashton Gillotte was brought in because, A, he wasn't doing enough, and B, he's now out of the mix. So Gillotte needs to be more productive overall. All right. I mentioned off the top, we haven't done a lot of content recently. We've had some personnel staff changes, but don't go anywhere. Lock us in. We'll keep the fort down until we have a permanent solution. So subscribe if you haven't already. Stay subscribed if you're wondering what's happened to this channel. We're not going anywhere. We'll have a plan soon. Just stick with us and turn on those notifications so you know when we publish videos. All right, Brashard Smith, a polarizing figure. How many touches does he get? I think it's an interesting time right now for him because most people, I think, assume that he's just on this team. Well, there was a report earlier on Thursday that the Chiefs could be shopping for a running back. Could that mean Brashard Smith isn't as safe as we think for the 53-man roster? Obviously, he's still learning this position. Last year at SMU was his first year being a full-time running back after being a receiver at Miami. He's clearly electric with the ball in his hands. He's capable of generating big plays, but still has to learn the position overall. I would give him a lot of run in this game. Elijah Young has been waived, so he is out of the picture. I would give Brashard Smith, 30, 40 snaps, give him 10-plus touches if you can, 6, 7 carries, throw the ball to him out of the backfield, because I think early on that's where he should be pretty comfortable, is as a pass catcher out of the backfield and line him up in the slot occasionally as well. So I hope he shows enough and makes this team, because if they work with him, give this time, especially in an Andy Reid offense, I think he can be a pretty big-time playmaker. All right, then lastly, just roster bubble watch. That's what a lot of these final preseason games are really for. That's kind of the main importance for them is, these guys are out on the bubble. Can they make a push? Can they make this football team? And if not, can they show enough where another team could claim them off of waivers after cutdown day, which is next Tuesday? Chiefs will probably cut at least one more receiver after trading Skyy Moore to the 49ers for those who missed that little late-round pick swap to send Skyy to San Francisco. Unfortunately, it didn't work out here. I loved the pick at the time. I remember I was covering that here on this channel. I was like, man, he's going to thrive in this offense. And, to me, it goes back to his rookie year. That muffed punt against the Colts, I felt like he just lost his confidence after that. And they lost to that bad Matt Ryan Colts team. A lot of drops, a lot of fumbling problems. Just could not put it all together, but certainly wish him the best. I do think at least one, if not two of these guys could get cut as well. Nico Remigio, Tyquan Thornton, Jason Brownlee. I think Remigio's and Thornton are on the safer side of things. Brownlee probably on the outside looking in. So keep an eye on that trio of players as we get into this final preseason game when it comes to the receiver position. Tight end, similar deal. Robert Tonyan, seems like he's turned back the clock a little bit. He's had some nice moments in the preseason. Jake Briningstool's out, so he could be in trouble. Jared Wiley loved the pick last year, but he got hurt last year. It's kind of been an up-and-down camp this year. I think they'll keep him, but if he has a bad performance, he could be in trouble. He could be subject to waivers, so we'll see what happens. I do think if you're just basing it off of who's looked better, I do think Tunyan's been the best out of this group, so we'll see what that means for Jared Wiley. Do they go heavier at the position? Do they go lighter? Try to get him through waivers, bring him back on the practice squad. Certainly an option. 4th-round pick last year, though. You could see a certain team taking a flyer on a guy with upside as a receiving tight end. But Robert Tonyan's kind of looked like the Robert Tonyan that we saw in Green Bay years ago with Aaron Rodgers as a good receiving weapon. Seems a little bit improved as a blocker as well. So good for him. He's still only 29 or 30. He feels like he's been around forever, but he has certainly had a good month or so here in camp and in the preseason. If you're only keeping one, which of these tight ends are you keeping? If it's Robert Tonyan, type RT. Jared Wiley, type JW. Jake Briningstool, type JB. Give us your thoughts on that one. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the Chiefs Report. We'll see you guys soon here at Chat Sports.